All right, welcome back to Mystic Mysteries. Thank you so much for tuning in. My next investigation is going to be the underwater ruins of Japan. So, just off the coast of Yonaguni-jima is Japan's own Atlantis, a sprawling underwater city believed to be at least 5,000 years old. First discovered by a diver in 1995, the city was initially believed to be nothing more than a bizarre series of natural rock formations, all of which mysteriously featured perfect right angles and straight lines. Later searches revealed everything from a large stone gateway to carved stairways and streets to vaulting towers. So I'm going to pull 6 cards, maybe more, depending on what Spirit wants to show us, in regards to this subject, and we are going to investigate it further. Okay. So, first we're going to use our Goddess Oracle. All right, Goddesses. Whoops. I'm going to take that, I guess. Didn't even get a chance to ask, but they're listening. Time doesn't exist for them. So we have the Green Tara, Salvation, Demeter, Nurturer, and Benzai 10, Beauty. Interesting. We are talking about an Asian location, and we have 2 Asian goddesses here. So, along with a Greek goddess. So, let's read what the Green Tara has to say. That's funny. I opened the book and it was really already open to it. So, empowerment message. The divine has intended you into being and given you the assignment to explore life through certain perceived limitations. You are meant to learn about life and all its complexities, especially learning about how to be in community with others. Green Tara, the Tibetan goddess, also known as She Who Saves, says that you will never be alone in life's journey. This compassionate savior goddess of intimate friendship will ensure that the right people will show up for you at the right time. Green Tara reminds you that your needs will always be met. You don't need to know the how, as that is her domain. You just need to trust, and the goddess Green Tara will use her magic on your behalf. You are safe and secure and always in the care of the divine. Alignment message says Green Tara, known as She Who Saves, is here to remind you that salvation is contingent on your willingness to release your ego conflicts and surrender your wants and unmet desires to the divine. Do you find yourself swimming in a nagging spiral of dissatisfaction? Are you comparing yourself to others and always coming up short? Do you feel entitled to the manifestation of your wants, arriving in the only form that you will accept? When you are suffering from longing and wanting, you are like a hungry ghost that will never be fed, and blind to the opportunities that are truly yours. Never fear. Just as a true friend will let you know when you're off track, Green Tara will let you know when you're out of alignment. She will save you from the destructive qualities of hubris, entitlement, and elitism, as well as consciousness of lack with the following alignment task. Get right with yourself and the world again. First, know that you are exactly where you need to be right now. And if that means empty for a time, that is perfect. Instead of looking at what isn't there, bless every tiny aspect of your life with deep gratitude. Green Tara will show you that the world is your friend. You've only been fighting against yourself. You will then recognize the earth as a place of joy and abundance. Okay, very nice message. So remember, this is in regards to the underwater ruins of Japan. So our next card is Demeter 11, which is a master number. Empowerment message. Giving to others is a wonderful feeling. When you have a healthy sense of yourself, you want to share your love, your inspiration, and your experience, and the exchange feels clean. Your boundaries are fluid yet strong. The Greek goddess of grain, motherhood, and the harvest, Demeter, reminds you that a harvest is meant to be shared. You've now tapped in her nurturing love, which is abundant, and your well-meaning gestures will be received with gratitude and in some way returned to you tenfold. Now is the time to nourish yourself too. Forgiving must be balanced by receiving. Allow yourself to feel how the universe is like a wonderful nurturing mother that is always there when you need her. Demeter Demeter says to trust that you are loved and cared for all day, every day, and for all time, especially now. Hi, buddy. Shadow's coming to say hi. Alignment message. Do you sometimes overgive to people until you're an empty well? Perhaps you've attracted others who are needy and want you to look after them. Or you might be in a pattern of people-pleasing because you're afraid to set boundaries. There is a sticky quality to connections based on the need to be needed. Although the possible repercussions for setting boundaries are in your mind, your body holds on a fear tightly. So it can be scary to make a change. No one wants to admit that they are manipulative or codependent. But it's important to be honest about where you find yourself now. Demeter knows the price of this way of being, as it has caused her to lose something so dear to her. Now she has come to show you another way. Your alignment task is to recognize that it's time to step back, take a breath, and say no to behaviors and people you know are draining you. It's that simple. The divine is the one with the plan. Gather your love, your nourishment, and your self-worth. Choose how you nurture and how you want to receive it. You are so loved when the goddess Demeter brings you her nurturing energy to help you course correct. Okay, interesting. So something happened to this underwater city that has something to do with not setting good boundaries. And at one point, it was a point of salvation for people. And a place of extreme beauty. So, Benzai 10, number 6. What other numbers here? 18, 11, and 6. You are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, okay, come on. The last reading I did, the goddess for that reading was on point to the location where I was reading for. And here we go again. Second time in a row. I can't make this up. I get the Japanese goddess for the underwater ruins in Japan. Here we go. This is meant to be. You are at your most lovely when you are being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzai 10, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. I'm experiencing right now. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzai 10 will help you. So the alignment message here says your ability to see beauty in your world is dimmed by a momentary lapse in self-worth. The goddess of beauty asks you whether you've been set back by a visit of perfectionism or others have withheld their support, causing you to feel small and insignificant. Whatever the circumstances, it appears that you have been hijacked by a sense of lack. Your alignment task is to restore your self-worth and regain your equilibrium by refusing to engage in these mind games designed to dim your light. Now is the time for a positive self-inventory. The goddess Benzai 10 is here to remind you that you are a bright, shiny, beautiful being of divine power and light. You are more than enough, and the world contains more than enough beauty for you. This is a good place to dust off and start again. How cool. So, Shadow, I'm so sorry. He got a rock. Oh my goodness. Shadow. 1 second. Always has to be an interruption, hey? Always. Okay. Here we go. So we got these 3 lovely ladies all trying to tell us something about this underwater ruins of Japan. Salvation, nurturing, and beauty. I get the feeling maybe this was a remnant of Lemuria, maybe? Or a very early version of, let's say, Atlantis. And their focus on perfectionism, I think, was their demise. And it's either they set too many boundaries or didn't set enough boundaries. I'm not sure which it is, but this underwater city was a point of salvation for people. And that's probably saying that there weren't many boundaries, and therefore I think they allowed other beings to come in that were more foreign, that ended up changing things in such a way that the culture then did not become what it was originally supposed to be, and therefore sank into the sea. Okay, 1 second. Come here. Okay. Sorry for all the distractions, but I'm not redoing this, so. Next, we're going to go to the spirit card, or the ether. So what does the ether want to tell us about the underwater ruins of Japan? Ancestors, spirit guides. Ooh, here we go. The winged wise ones. Beautiful card. So something to do with angelics, possibly. Or angelics have left their energy upon this underwater city. So 34. There it is. Thank you for being so patient with me here. Always allies and never challengers. The winged wise ones represent the aid of all the angels. When you enter their realm, know that your sincere prayers will be answered according to the will of the divine. This also represents divine intervention and the potential of miracles to heal and transform as if by magic. Have faith. Whatever your circumstances, heavenly beings are watching over you. The winged wise ones give you a glimpse of the future by offering messages whispered on the wind. These are translated within you as inspired thought, instantly unraveling the past and revealing the present. Be aware of the higher consciousness in you. This is a good time to observe your thoughts through meditation. Who is observing those thoughts? That self is kin to the winged wise ones who have come to help you soar. So, spirit represents the ether when we're talking about the elements. In regards to this question, the underwater ruins of Japan, the winged wise ones. So, I get the feeling that we probably had offspring of angelics that lived in these ruins at one point, and possibly the angelics were the ones who wanted to hide the evidence of them living there, and therefore water was the best way to do that, maybe. Also, it could be like the ice caps in Antarctica, melting, and therefore civilizations just naturally fell under the, underneath the waves as time went on. Okay, next we're going to go to air. Air spirits, what can you tell us about the underwater ruins of Japan? Ancestors, spirit guides, higher self, benevolent beings that want to help the human race. What do you want to tell us about these underwater ruins of Japan? Please tell me what I need to know. Please tell me what I need to know, air spirits. Air spirits represent movement when I'm investigating these things. Air spirits. What do we need to know? We have the garden, communing. Okay. My book. Garden. What number is that? 20. Okay. This is the house of getting out and about and mixing in the world. This is the world of social engagement and entertainment. So didn't I say that? I said that this underwater ruins was probably a hub of lots of different races and cultures. And over time it had changed, I guess, or changed in a way that it was a salvation for people, clearly. And I find that very interesting. We have these golden fairies. So I'm getting the feeling this was in an age of the golden age. This underwater ruins, it was very active around, it had a very extreme golden age going on in its prime. Okay, next we have Earth, and we use the Celtic Fairies Tarot. All right, Earth spirits, what can you tell us about the underwater ruins of Japan? What do we need to know? Ancestors, spirit guides, higher self, benevolent beings. What can you tell us about the underwater ruins of Japan when it comes to the physical world? What can you tell us about the underwater ruins of Japan. The Queen of Swords, resilience. Okay. Queen. Criticism versus encouragement. The low reg offers aid but demands terrible payment, meaning feedback, input, judgments. So maybe a queen made some kind of choice and it ended up not working for her in the end or something, maybe. Or maybe this queen was too judgmental, and that's why we had it being a salvation before nurturing and beauty, but maybe the beauty got too far, and that beauty stopped letting in certain beings, maybe. Angelic help, miraculous aid. So essentially, yeah, I said at the beginning, I said it started off as something, you know, really good, original, and happy, peaceful, and then over time, karmically, something happened. And I think it was due to the beings that were in charge of this place that ended up being its demise. Okay, here we go. Or again, it could have just been natural causes. But, I mean, if you have beings that can terraform planets, I mean, anything is game. Okay, so I'm going to have to come back with a second part because I'm going to run out of time here, but stay tuned.